Welcome back. It's so wonderful to virtually see you. This lesson, I am going to teach you how to find the area of a circle, okay? So for this example, there's just one circle. What I intentionally did this time is I put the given information on the outside of the circle. So I just want to make things clear that when you're working with the area of a circle or the circumference of a circle, they have to give you one piece of information. They will give you either the radius or the diameter, and then you can manipulate what you need within the equation to find your answer. So if you notice out here, this dimension, this measurement is halfway through the circle. So that means that measurement is the radius. Just as a refresher, the radius is the distance halfway through a circle, and the diameter is the distance through the full circle. So once again, this tells us that the radius is 4 feet, and I just want to let you know that they can also show it to you like this inside the circle. So as you are exploring and doing some practice problems, just keep in mind that the radius or the diameter information can be either inside or outside of the circle, okay? So what we're going to do is we are going to write down our given information, because almost like baking a cake, you want everything laid out for you, ready to go. If I was to bake a cake, I wouldn't read the directions and then get one item at a time as I went. When I bake, I look at the directions, I take out whatever utensils and pans and pots that I need, and I also get the food ingredients ready. That way, as I'm reading the directions, everything is easy, accessible in reach, and I have them for easy use. So I like to do the same things when we're working with math problems to pull out the key information. That way it's very easy for us to visually see it. So once again, this line is halfway through the circle, so we're just going to document right here. That way it'll be easiest for us later. The radius in this particular problem is 4 feet long, okay? So let's get started. Step one, you always want to write down your formula or your equation. So in order to find area, we are going to write down area equals pi r squared, okay? What we are then going to do is start plugging in some information. A represents or stands for area, and that's what we're looking for. That's what we're trying to figure out. So that's your unknown or your variable. So we're going to bring that A down because that's what we're looking for, the area. We are also going to bring down the equal sign, because without an equal sign, you don't have an equation. And if you do not have an equation, you cannot solve for something. And we are trying to solve. We're trying to figure out the area of this particular circle. So the A is going to come down and the equal sign comes down. Next, we are required to substitute or plug in a value for pi. This is where you need to pause and think for a couple of seconds, because in this particular problem, the directions that I'm giving you indicate to use 3.14 for pi. Another teacher or another assignment might ask you to use 22/7 or the pi button on your calculator. So make sure to always read the directions first, okay? This particular problem, once again, says 3.14, so I'm going to plug in or substitute 3.14 for pi, and then this part gets a little interesting and you have to be careful, okay? R represents the radius, so we need to plug in or substitute the radius. If we go back to what I wrote here in black, that's what I meant about baking a cake. We don't have to look back at the problem now. We pulled out the information that we need. So now we can grab that and just plug it in. The radius is 4 feet. So underneath R, I'm going to plug in 4. I'm going to put a big star here though, because after 6+ years of teaching, this is where students get really hung up here. They put the 4, they have confidence, and they continue calculating. You cannot forget that little 2 there. That is an exponent of 2, which means you're squaring whatever's inside. So we are squaring the radius. So our radius, once again, is 4 feet, and because we're squaring it, that means you're going to have 2 of them. So this is how you would appropriately fill in or substitute your equation, but now I'm going to expand it, which means to make it bigger so you can visually see what's going on. We are having area equals 3.14, but if we expand this equation, there are 2 4s. It's basically 4 times itself. So if we expand this, it's 4 times 4, okay? At this point, you can now take this entire thing and you can plug it into your calculator to multiply. And when we do that, 3.14 times 4 times 4 again, we get 50.24. So the area of this circle, when given the diameter, is 50.24. And once again, we're working with numbers. We are working with quantities and measurements and math. You always want to be as accurate and precise as you can. So this isn't 50.24 dolphins. This isn't 50.24 whales, okay? This is 50.24 feet. And then also, we are squaring it, okay? So, congratulations. You just determined or calculated that when given a radius of 4 feet, the area of the circle is 50.24 feet squared. I'm very happy for you. I hope this makes it easier, and happy area finding.